are just one map away.
And I think that's going to be incredibly important to those players to have that lifeline, but also to capitalize on it. And I think this match is about capitalizing on opportunities.
Sure.
You know, XERXIA are one away from being able to replicate their champions performance as well, getting to the quarterfinals. They said that was their goal, to be able to be better than they were last year, to achieve more. Well, a quarterfinals appearance here feels like a minimum then, but you can't allow yourself to lose a match like this, an opportunity like this. But you've got them on their comfort territory and a mirror match in terms of the compositions.
And Liquid again changing up this composition. This time Surf pushing all the way deep. The triple push. The headshots are being found. Nivera can't do much more but try and backpedal to safety, but he's taken care of. And oh, Yampy. Oh, Yampy.
Yeah, try winning this one.
I mean, he's going to certainly give it a good go.
Take the ult.
Yeah, you know, you get something out of it.
But what an aggressive play from XERXIA as well. That's the confidence. That's the level.
And this is the kind of stuff they were doing all the time against Optic to try and scout out, get a bit of early information as well, maybe find out where Ye might be lurking to take care of him when they were playing against Optic. This time around, obviously, these aggressive plays, you need to be ready for it because XERXIA are not scared to support Surf in that capacity.
And this is what I wanted to see from them on Split as well. It's so much more difficult on that map. Look at this, they just blitz down mid. Such speed and pace. Take the spike down, bring the fight to Liquid. The Scream takes a Marshall into this round, 2 Sheriffs as well from Yampy and Nivera. But otherwise, you're expecting XERXIA to have the advantage. Didn't work for them in the second half of Split, though. They did fumble that one. Got to be a bit more cautious here. But really once more going for a mid push.
That's so deep. And look at how to all group together as well.
It's a quiet one, Bren, a sneaky one.
Yeah, they don't want to take any risks as well. They don't want to hand over this weaponry. They're trying to play with that player advantage for them. They hit a turret around the corner, though. That's going to be cleared here. Fox just leaping around. Solkas needs to try and survive. Okay. Dashes away to the help of the rest of his team, but Scream's holding it down. Not enough armor to survive the body shot. So immediately returning fire. Where's the help from the rest of his team? Because the entirety of Team Liquid is coming to play here, just trying to clean them all up. These Marshals, they can be dangerous. You've got to respect them at the end of the day, but with Solkas left in a 1v3, it's going to require a little bit more.
And it's fairly clean, honestly. I mean, sure, they lose 2 players, but it's not that expensive. And XERXIA have already started conditioning Liquid. They are going to start, and they being Liquid, Liquid are going to start being worried about mid pushes, even when XERXIA aren't doing them, because they've thrown one that was aggressive and loud and noisy and quick. And then in the second round, they've thrown one that was quiet, just off the back of a recon dart. So now it feels like Liquid either have to dedicate Nivera's turret to be watching that push constantly and worried about it all the time, or they need to go and start taking control for themselves or leaving at least a player there to watch for it.
Fighting over it. There was a little ping on the map there from one of the players on Team Liquid, but look at the disrespect from XERXIA. Dart's going to be sent across the wall, which does push them away as well, so they have to respect it, but it's so pushed up.
But he's got a teammate looking for him as well. That was Yampy that took a little bit of contact up there by Belt. Forced away the drone as well, allows XERXIA to continue holding their aggressive positions on A.
And all that early aggression that XERXIA were showcasing in these last 2 rounds, this is where it's paying off right now, because the amount of respect that Liquid are showing them, they have to. Worried about these pushes coming through, just trying to wait for them to try and play into their hands. But Surf will see if he can hit this shot when Scream maybe just wide swings out of it. Spam comes through. That's going to be the dash committed with the drone as well accompanying it. He has to respect it. Disengages now with the rest of his team, but look at Cruz in this position, crouching behind 410.
And the slow ops, the wall, the recon dart, all of these things are breaking up the Team Liquid push and making it difficult for them to actually take the space. There's a slow op from Solkas as well that does the same kind of thing. And Liquid with 30 seconds left, they've got to commit to A now.
Yeah, at this point, it's so obvious what site they're leaning towards.
Great first pick.
They do take our serve. He's been doing the damage for them. Scream up top. What a transfer. Bullet lands on the head. Does find the mark he was looking for, but now a quick engagement! That is filthy! Cruz is running amok above the high areas there of 410, and now it's the 2v1. Link has managed to wrap his way around. He's lurked around the wall.
The wall!
It's impeding him. He has to find his way around the corner. It's already half. He's jumping around. They know his positioning. A bit of run and gun in play, but not enough. The play's being made, and XERXIA, the one, are taking away the bonus.
It all looked so good for them. They managed to get the opening pick on the serve. Scream barrels his way towards top 410, taking names, taking heads, but it wasn't enough. The play was outrageous, frankly, to jump on top of the Sage Wall and just start spraying people down with a Spectre. But that's what's amazing watching XERXIA. They are not afraid to make these kind of plays. This is Cruz, who, by the way, had, I mean, the best performance out of anybody in map 1, but it's not normally their big player. You're looking for the big plays to come out of Surf, to come out of Scary, to maybe be coming out of Sushi Boys as well. But this team is well-rounded, and none of them lack confidence.
There's those little pockets of individuality that you see. There's explosions of play from a lot of these minor region teams on the global events as well. In the past, some teams have lacked that confidence, but if you're able to pull it out at the right times, it's enough. You can throw off the balance of some of the juggernauts that you might be playing against, although they're trying to change the tone, I think, of that narrative as well. The minor region teams are here to play.
APAC's got the player base, APAC's got the results. If XERXIA's able to put another win on the board, you gotta start respecting, and that's before we've even seen Correct. All right, Sushi Boys deals with that one, and Nivera walks into Scary as well. So this round's had a lot of the sting taken out of it, where it could have got a little risky. And this advanced position for Surf has not yet been scouted. I want to draw the attention, too, to how well they play off each other, right? Cruz dies there, but he's holding belt for Surf and baiting them in as well. I don't think they're going to expect Surf to be this pushed up. It's an area that they haven't cleared. 40 seconds left. All right, Liquid.
Now the pressure's on Surf. They're spamming it. They have to be aware of it. Still, he finds the pick off.
30 seconds left.
Quick little dash across. He's right on top of the head of Scream. They don't know what's going on. Bring around the roses into the old smoke. Luckily, Sushi Boys is here to clean up the mess.
And what a mess it was. But that's fun. That's fun. Round 5, though, and this is where it starts to get crunch time for Liquid, I think, because the pressure is seriously on. You lost the pistol. You lost the bonus round. You need to make sure that that doesn't happen again. What a lovely little flick.
It was beautiful as well. Just holding it so that Scary can push up deep like that.
Sushi Boys is at home on IceBox.
Yeah. He's had consistently, I mean, historically as well on land, this guy has popped off on IceBox.
Was this not the map where he used to play Jet for them?
Yeah, I believe so, and they swapped around the roles.
Yeah. And it just feels like he's comfortable on it. Whenever he plays, he's just got the angles, gets the impact. He's got the ultimate now as well.
And all that early aggression again. Liquid conditioned to just kind of wait it out a bit. Here's a bit of pace though. They've injected straight into it. Scream with the knives in hand is going to get the Blade Storm renewed.
But do they expect Cruz? Again, another situation where they're playing somebody long, somebody short. And the players at the back, they're willing to take the fights early. Surf with a pick onto Scream, and once more, Cruz
They're
just
not going to expect this.
Silent. How do you expect this?
There's no way in hell they expect this. But still, the timing might be there. The wall. Yampi might be making a tremendous play, and he spotted him. There's the pick. The res is coming through. They don't expect it. He's right around the side. What a spray control.
What a play.
Pick. And yeah, instantly the res comes through. Yampi has completely opened this up for his team.
What a round from Yampi.
4 kills.
That is what Liquid needed to get them onto the board there. What a gorgeous decision. He doesn't know about Cruz's position, but he just so happens to path around the other side because he's trying to dodge the sightline that Surf is playing from. And if Surf was the player that's actually supposed to be locking that down, he would have a teammate watching his back. But because their setup is actually Surf baiting you into Cruz, there is a little opening there, and Yampi finds it.
Yeah.
Just delicately threads the needle through that defense.
So there's IceBox reworks as well. And obviously, widening a lot of those angles where normally you'd be able to spot that lurk before it comes through, but a different round ahead of us now. Again, knives in hand here for Surf. And this is a deep push down mid. This time we'll see. Liquid have been ready to absorb a lot of this aggression that's been coming their way. They were conditioned for it early on.
Here comes the drone. They're always using good utility to set them up. And that's a kill.
No way! Okay, quick little updraft. Has to dash to the side though. And he doesn't want to overstep himself. There's a discipline that they were talking about in a press conference where Surf is just a part of these set plays.
It definitely feels like they've let him off the leash a little bit though in some of these rounds. He's had the freedom to be able to make the big plays when he wants, but they always set him up with the utility. XERXIA's fundamentally a very good team. They have a loose play style, but they're always using their util to set each other up. Here comes the recon dart once more to stop the push from Liquid. Fox smart with his darts there, always well timed. It might be nice actually to see Liquid add another contact round in. What I mean by that is the way that Yampi didn't make any noise and just snuck his way into position behind Surf. If you have the guts to go for a play like that, especially when Surf doesn't have the operator, they might be able to find some big value out of it. But for the moment, it's some elephantine stomping into B green.
And this is all going to be heard by Sushi Boys, just holding around the corner, which means they are fully aware. Lockdown in hand. Yampi does have the ultimate to try and disrupt this one, but he was busy just holding the top of that yellow control, swinging around the corner. It's a lockdown for a lockdown, and they're right back around the corner!
They didn't get a plant! That's unbelievable! Sushi Boys!
Oh no.
Sushi Boys had a second Nano Swarm, and that round descended into chaos. But Sushi Boys is able to pop the second Nano Swarm that they didn't see. Yampi was trying to destroy it, but it was just too little too late. Too rushed from them. And that is disaster in the Liquid camp. That's a timeout. Sliggy hits the big red button. And watch this replay. Yampi doing such good work. And look how Link has to dodge the first Nano Swarm. And then as the second comes through, just assassinates him.
Unreal setups as well. And again, just not really doing the legwork ahead of time to clear that. I mean,
one shock dart and that would all be gone.
Absolutely.
But Yampi is so required to be able to get those opening kills in that situation. Sure. You know, Yampi's been the guy actually up front getting the eliminations for them. You can't have him at the back shooting his shock darts, being supportive.
It's such a fun song as well to accompany this. I mean,
Liquid currently in existential crisis mode after that round.
We've been casting this as the most serious game in the world.
And there's La Bamba playing in the background.
Exactly. It's, I don't know, I find it comical. Sliggy's just, I mean, the man, you can tell he's been putting in the work, you know, he's a weathered veteran right now, sitting in this seat.
He does look worn heading into this tournament, Sliggy. I mean,
I'm surprised, there's a lot of prep.
Yeah, it's been a rough year. They've had to retool a bunch of their compositions too. I mean, just to give you an idea, right, of how all over the place Liquid have been, they've been changing their composition after less than 2 maps average this year. So they don't even show you 2 full maps on a comp. They have played 16 agents so far this year. I mean, they go for it.
They love to experiment.
They certainly do, and they've been pulling out not necessarily new compositions, but different compositions. Yeah, you could say unexpected compositions. The same could be said for XERXIA though too. They weren't running this on IceBox until the game against Optic. And they went a bit more back to basics, and now we have a mirror match. And one at the moment that XERXIA is quite firmly in control of.
That's a deep dart again from XERXIA down mid, including the drone. You're gonna hear this one, but Team Liquid might be setting up for a bit of a faster engagement. And Scary hit online, the spam coming through up there.
They knew where that was, but he dodges it all.
I think they might have been spamming as well, just for... He's done this prior, where he did it a little bit further back, but this time just about ducked, so he saved his head.
Team Liquid are pushing themselves forwards, as is Cruz actually, over by B. But this looks like Liquid are just going to be full committing to the A side. Yampi has his Hunter's Fury at any point here, and it's actually Soulcast that gets caught out first. Scream's taking a ton of damage too. The spike dropped. Doesn't look great for Liquid.
And again, the injection of chaos into this round right now. No one really knows what's going on. Scream just holding up top. Dark giving him again a bit of information, but the time on the clock slowly bleeding down. There's 40 seconds roughly left in this round.
Oh, they think they can go back. They think they can go back. Nevera picked one up on the flank.
Cruz position.
But they have no idea where Cruz is.
Look at this.
And Cruz is going to hear them coming back over to him. There's 30 seconds left, Brent.
They have to clear him out here, but are they even going to suspect this one? Slide off angle. It's beautiful. And now if he stays alive, he gets 2. Spike drop down. A disaster right now for Liquid. Scream's got the operator in hand, but he's so weak.
The Op's got to be the worst weapon he could have here to try and punish Cruz too.
The tiptoe right around the corner, but he gets spotted across. Fox has the crossfire to support, and now no time whatsoever to make any sort of plays to win this one round.
I don't think that's what Sliggy had in mind when he called the timeout and the strat for this one. Round 7 firmly in control once again of XERXIA. And it's the same kind of things cropping up once again and again and again here, Bren. It's that duo play between Surf and somebody else on the team, where Surf is holding the long sightline with the operator, and then Cruz pushes up. And sure, Surf oversteps himself a little bit, goes into spawn, but Cruz just holds there. He knows that Liquid have got pressure applied to them. He knows there's a Viper's Pit from Scary that they're going to have to contend to. And look at that. I mean, that is such obvious frustration on the face of Soulcast.
Yeah.
What's he still holding there for?
Exactly. I mean, that is literally what he's saying, I think. It's around it again, a bit of confusion for them, for Liquid. Unable to really read this one, but again, now we're seeing pace. No slow play at the beginning of this one. The drone's going to be used to clear deep into B main to make sure that none of the players from XERXIA can set up in those deep angles.
You want to see a shock dart on the plant position here to try and remove this. There it is. And now Link, he has the Viper's Pit. They're going to want to escort that in safely so that they can get it off.
Question is, what's online right now to try and push them away? Fox is just spamming, I'm pretty sure, through the wall, all the way back from Snowman, and he's found that one, but now the Hunter's Fury pushed them away. That's dashed right through. Yampy, what a connection, and now the counterplay from Fox, but it's just a little bit too late. He's just dragging on the heels of all the players from Team Liquid. They get away essentially scot-free.
And the turret's watching the flank, not just the turret, but Yampy. These two players as they push in.
More than ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Guardian easily cleans those players up. And the Viper's Pit at the end of the day wasn't even particularly necessary. They throw it in there, it's always good to invest. I think it's a smart ultimate to use. Yeah. But it didn't have the impact. What it really did was Yampy being able to grab that pick with the Hunter's Fury and how well they got into the site in the first place.
That pace was, I think, definitely needed from Liquid.
Scanning ahead.
Realizing as well, the orders mid pushes from earlier, not really doing them any justice when they've been loitering around, making the clock really just burn down to a crisp.
Here's Fox's POV.
That was a nasty shot, so it wasn't through the wall.
It is a really nice shot. But Yampy just got so much value out of that Hunter's Fury, which wasn't responded on the other side.
Enemy remaining.
Yampy was getting those kills with a Guardian, and XERXIA are up 6-2, and yet XERXIA's economy is not in a good spot whatsoever. So
I don't really know how we got here.
You know, you've got to give credit to Liquid for being able to keep them honest at least.
Sure.
Keep the economy down, not allow it to snowball out of control. The Marshal will not win that one.
Yeah, not in a battle of the body shots. Got to aim for the head, unfortunately. Should have aimed for the head.
Forehead.
Ah.
Why don't the pros just always aim for the head?
They should, right? I mean, it's a flawless strategy.
Incredible analysis.
Shot dart around the corner, that's a quick miss. Made by under as well. Sokash just holding, making sure that no player can swing at the top of those rafters.
Got to be honest, I was worried about that. That was Link's snakebite, actually. The nearly vulnerable Soulcast. Could have been a little wonky. This is going to be a difficult round for XERXIA to put any pressure on.
Just a half bite. They don't really have the weaponry, but does it matter? Fox is going to follow our advice and just click on the heads. Yampy, he pushes through the wall, he finds a crucial timing, but now time is running out for them, and it's up to Yampy to try and secure this one. The Vera is holding that long sight line all the way around 410. He's able to collect the one kill. Does he know he's there? Scary rifle picked up. Not enough time to try and get the defusal, but they definitely made it expensive.
And especially considering Liquid have not been able to get those rounds on the board, that's pretty bad. I mean, straight back into your initial loss bonus. And even though they have money to be able to buy up this time, it puts their economy in a precarious situation where the next round is a massive economical swing. These XERXIA players are so talented. They are genuinely skilled players. You can talk about their comps or their setups or whatever, all you like. But these players are not weak aimers by any degree.
No.
We saw that yesterday. They were confident, swinging, hitting shots.
Yeah, forged in the fires of APAC, you know. Feels like that region, I mean that collection as well of countries, it just produces incredible mechanical talent.
It certainly has in the past, yeah. And, you know, surf the next crop. 18 years old, this guy. Had a rough performance in map 1, but he's still here, still fighting with the rest of his team, getting incorporated into these set plays. And Liquid, they take B green control.
There's so much aggressive space being gained here. Look at how deep Surf is pushed through A. This is going to give them so much information. But Hunter's Fury feels like, wow, okay, Yampy's got another one online.
No way.
I'm pretty sure that's the exact same setup as well. He has a dart that lands onto the middle section there of B.
It was a really nice play. I mean, he gets another one. I'm surprised he got that level of value, but that's a phenomenal opening pick for Liquid to get.
And I haven't revealed too much other than the fact that, I mean, obviously XERXIA,
Right here.
they know what's about to be coming. They know this hit's coming through.
My question, Bren, is whether Sushi Boys invests his lockdown. He does not have nanoswarms on the spike plan. So they're not going for a big deny the plant kind of setup right now.
30 seconds left.
I mean, I guess they could with like snake bites and shock darts, but it feels more likely to me that they're just going to put time pressure with this lockdown.
Yeah.
There's 20 seconds left, Nano swarm out. What happens if Sushi Boys just invest this ult right now?
And the lockdown's down. Players from Liquid, they need to start to try and break this one. They do get a plan, but the spam comes through. Soulcast dealt with. Lockdown. Players are going to be able to survive and just avoid being detained as well as they just hug the exit areas of it. Scared as well of this now, but the postman's being played from Liquid. Yampi, 11 seconds away from that recon dart. I don't think he cares though, still taking the fight. Swinging out, takes off Fox's head, and he takes off another one. 3 kills for him in this round, a 4th! You've got to be kidding me. Denied the ace. Surf will at least do that much, but he realizes I got to get out of here. I can't do that much.
And Surf was going for a flank down mid, wasn't really connected with the rest of his team, comes back in, operator in hand, and Yampi's already won it for him. There's a bit of a jet diff to finish things off, but it's all about Yampi. He was amazing for them yesterday, had the most impact by far for the team, even if he didn't, you know, top frag both of the maps. And then here again, he's finding opening picks for them. He's being able to use his Vandal to grab them crucial kills.
Yeah.
These kills are so important because they halt XERXIA from going for that big retake when they're trying to all sync up together.
One more.
Nice one, Dom. You're on camera, mate.
Listen, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't have to be PG-13.
I love it, man. These players are fired up.
Yeah, flex the personality a little bit, you know.
Yampi
18 and 8.
18 kills.
KD for him. And by the way, Team Liquid timeout being taken off the back of winning that round, and they have been slowly clawing it back in this half.
Yeah, they really have. It's been an uphill battle, but it feels similar to map 1, Brent, except the roles being reversed somewhat.
Sure.
I mean, you know, you had Liquid getting out to a really hot start on split, and then XERXIA really battled back and got into that first half. And now this time around, again, situation somewhat similar. You could see a 6-6 half once more here. Quite feasibly.
Very reasonable possibility of it as well.
And I feel like one of the big things is that Liquid have been able to find those opening picks. One of the things that was really snarling them up is that they struggled to figure out where Surf was playing, where these pushed-up players really were. And once they got to the site, they weren't able to commit to it fully. Had to go for those wild rotates that ended up punishing them.
Yeah.
And Liquid, they really do struggle when they don't find the first pick. They have the worst 4v5 win rate across the tournament. And that's the stats from this year heading into this tournament.
Implying that one of the players is first death.
Yes,
and converting after that.
When one of Liquid's players dies first, they only win, I mean, less than a quarter of the time.
Yeah.
So it really is imperative for Liquid to start these rounds out well. Now, I do think, though, that they're playing in generally much better at this Masters tournament than they played online in EMEA. Something just seems to have clicked right beforehand.
Dart at the back. Now, XERXIA has been taking a lot of aggressive A control, and this time, Liquid are playing right into it. It's going to be the 1-for-1.
You will not
This was playing up close, but they do have the res available.
So does Cruz, but there's no way he's going to be able to get to that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not pushing that deep. And now Surf is left wondering, well, his players, you know, his teammates, a bit of a support line for him, I think, in covering a lot of those angles, the line-of-sight angles where
Take flight.
Yeah.
he otherwise might not have been able to watch.
He's pretty claustrophobic at the moment, just hiding from the drone.
Someone needs to break this.
Cruz tried,
You've got to break this drone, and now Surf is in trouble. It spotted him out, goes for the quick scope, and now you're seeing the slow orbs come through. Liquid are so aggressive, yet Cruz takes matters into his own hands.
Another mad play.
Pushes across, and yet that's a play being made from him, still making it happen, and that is Scary supporting him right from the side. Up top, though, Link tries to make some magic happen. It is the 2v3. They're just watching with the op. The long sightline. Scary is in trouble if he peeks that one, and now it's the 2v2. Link moves forwards, a quick little flick of the wrist. Finds the header. Surf. Sushi Boys left alone. Only the Spectre to work with. Here's the spike being planted. No way does he catch that timing, but the swing was there. Vera luckily stops him in his tracks before he can get away with any more mischief, and that is another round on the board.
Another one. That round could have gone many different ways. I think XERXIA played it really nicely. I mean, Liquid managed to get themselves into a good position to start out 4v4, the drone not getting punished. But Cruz, you know, Cruz and Scary were actually set up in a gorgeous crossfire that punished the way that Soulcast set up the wall. Scary was firing above it, Cruz at the side. At the end of the day, it didn't really matter. Liquid able to claw things back into their control.
out of my
All of
way.
these rounds have just been on a knife's edge.
So close, haven't they? This is a bit of a throwback, I think, to the beginning of the half. It looks like they wanted to get a bit aggressive. Now the drone's being pushed up, but it's so fast.
Brent, these mid pushes have not been working because Liquid are playing so much faster than they were before.
And this Fury has to be used to commit. Take out that lockdown. One little tag finally will do a bit of damage there onto Yampy, but they're already deep. Ward's not being taken down, and Scream, he's popped his own knives. Running over them right now, updraft in hand. Surf, he tries to answer back, but the knive's just a slight whiff, and the weaponry is not ideal. Only a couple of Spectres to take these long-range fights. A 3v5.
Ambitious right clicks from distance with the classic, but only 3 Spectres here. 3v5 retake. So difficult for XERXIA.
Quick little flick there from him. Still Scream, he's working right up close into them. Surf now left alone. No health. 13 hit points just left remaining to him, and with the Spectre, Navira's holding this angle down. Could potentially catch that timing that he's looking for, but it will not be the case. And Liquid, they make it even on the half when it was looking dire for them.
What an incredible recovery of that half from Liquid. XERXIA were running away with it, setting the tempo early on, conditioning Liquid utterly. And thanks to heroics from Scream here, Yampy in many of the other rounds, and Sliggy actually taking, using those timeouts intelligently to be able to reset the momentum and give his team an idea of the adjustments he needs to make. And this is back to 6-6, very, very similar to map 1.
Absolutely. And we're going to take a short break as the analyst desk just really breaks down everything that we've witnessed thus far in this first half.
Thank you very much, guys. You know, when that map started, I thought, we're going to see map 3. This is going the distance. We're going to get our first non-2-0. But Team Liquid, they don't want me to have that. And just what a response from them.
I mean, it was almost like a complete reverse, mirror reflection of what we saw in map 1. Of course, it's ended 6-6, but it's been done in the reverse fashion of we saw Team Liquid catching up on what was happening, what XERXIA was putting on the board. Conversely, it was the same thing that XERXIA did on Split on the first half as well. So these teams are growing into each other, working out what the set play is, and how to reverse and concur that.
To me, it was the same start but a different feeling. XERXIA getting that pistol round, and Liquid actually not finding a response. And we're highlighting Fox here because it's not only that he is the IGL. I think he has a lot to do with how the players are moving around the map. We see Surf just taking aggressive positions, but always giving the feeling that he could be anywhere. It's a lot of pressure to put onto him, but he was performing well, and he was making things difficult for Liquid all the time. And as I said, Liquid, just comes here and he's like, oh, this is Split. They're gonna give us the space. We can literally just start a mid-execute onto A, then freeze, and we go back to B, and everything is going to be free. No.
Something to point out as well, we spoke about Yampy as to why he was, going onto the Sova. Fox obviously being the IGL and someone that we have seen play Sova time and time again.
He's very aggressive.
And he's very aggressive with it. Do you think Yampy's maybe taken a leaf out of his book and gone, I like the way Fox plays it. We're getting onto IceBox. Gives me an opportunity to really be a front runner as one of, the better Sova diffs here.
Honestly, he does a little bit more from the back. It's more like Yampy's style. It's like, oh yeah, I got this corner, I got this flank. Oh yeah, a player that I still needed to step up for this one, and I really hope that he does on the defenses, Nivera, especially on those last rounds. He was doing better, but I feel like he's having a rough start today.
I mean, you guys have want Yampy to be more aggressive. We're talking about the guy that bought a Judge and a Vandal when he first played Jet and dashed into you, like towards you with it. So maybe he can do that again here on IceBox. We'll see on the Sova, but let's see if Team Liquid have what it takes to close this one out. Sideshow and Bren.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. Yes, we're heading deeper into the second map here, and Liquid with clawing that back now. It's looking like a more realistic probability, I think, for them, that they might be moving a bit deeper into the tournament, maybe making their mark in the playoffs.
I think this is such an important pistol round for XERXIA to be able to come out with. What a flick! That's from Soulcast.
And this is explosive. Wasn't expecting this kind of pace. Usually the rounds are quite slow from both of these teams, but
XERXIA's pistol was fast before on IceBox, and they're going with the same kind of momentum again. They need this. They need to be able to halt Liquid's momentum that they had in that first half. They really got things back in their favor. It was 6-1.
6-1, man. What is that? Just pre-fire in the common plant spot. Catches onto Sushi Boys. That Sheriff is doing work right now.
But with 2 ghosts, if Cruz and Scary are able to take long-range fights, they still have an opportunity to turn this round around.
You have to hit some shots, though, some nasty ones at that. Again, the spam from Scream.
It's so scary when you see it come through.
Shock dart, they're actually walling all the way up. This is the kind of ingenuity that you love to see. XERXIA just waiting for somebody to cross into their line of sight ankles. They
Link's gonna
expect
see
this.
him.
They drop down, planting inside the little cubby, and now the double swing comes through. Vulnerability on point for them. Link's able to close that one up before it got a little bit messy.
Great play by Link. Swinging around, he is in a position where he's going to be able to spot them, but also the molly that he's able to throw out is just going to vulnerable the players, stop them from planting. Look at
What a
this!
play.
How good is that from Soulcast? And if we want to frame things on the other side, right, from XERXIA, they are now at risk of having this great opportunity that was presented to them, that they earned, right?
Absolutely.
They weren't given it, they earned this opportunity to go through to playoffs, and I feel like it's slowly slipping through their fingers.
You don't want to squander it. You don't want to be known as the team that collects the upsets against North America.
Exactly. No one's going to remember just Optic randomly getting beaten one time if the team doesn't make it through to the playoff stage. That's what XERXIA need to be doing here. And at the moment, Liquid just getting the read, snacking on him.
Flawless.
An absolute prime gaming flawless if I've ever seen one.
I've seen many. That was one of the best.
Surf and Sushi Boys, though, have stepped up in this map. It was mostly at the beginning of the first half, but they found those opportunities to really get on the board.
Yeah.
And once they get rifles in their hand after we watched Navera just body shotting them all, but once they do get rifles in their hand, these players, between them, they bottom fragged on map 1. They were a combined 18 and 28. They went -10 between them. So now being up at the top of the scoreboard, that's what you need to see from Surf and Sushi Boys. The big players for this team.
Yeah. Spearhead for a lot of the strategies, obviously, revolving around Surf. And now, a bit better weaponry in the hands of the XERXIA players. You can see rifles across the board. Liquid obviously would love to convert this bonus round.
You cannot lose this if you're XERXIA. The map would just spiral completely out of control. I mean, we've seen incredible comebacks from them before when they were X10.
I love that.
But getting the first pick just makes things that much more comfortable.
Bit of discipline there as well with the double swing, just making sure that they're not going to be able to at least trade out the player if one of them went down there to the Marshall that's being played. And they have spotted a bit of that utility as well. The Nano Swarms, well, at least one of them's taken out. Plan going to start to come through, but respect being shown. That was a snakebite shock dart combo, I'm pretty sure. Enough to do a bit of damage, and it has taken a chunk out of them. And XERXIA forced to try and pivot away here, but the read, I think, is already there. Look at the players on from Team Liquid. The minimap just scampering, making sure that they can put a stop to it.
Calling my bot.
It is 4v3, but it's going to be so tough to get this
30
spike
seconds
down.
left.
Yampi, of course, has already used his shock darts, but Link's in a great position to spam.
That's so spammable.
This looks deadly.
Wall up. Try and swing across it. This time they're covering for it.
What a great play. Sushi Boy's so aware of that threat, and they get boosted up into the position. Here's the punish as well for Yampi. Spray the wall, will you?
Just pushing all the way around, man. Soulcast. Last player left standing for Liquid, and it looks like this flank for Kitchen. Yeah, caught unaware. Nice round from XERXIA, able to convert it, and
They can start to wipe some of the sweat from their brow. It has been a long route without a round being put on the board for XERXIA. And that was a must-win. I know we're not quite at the end of the map just yet, but that really did feel like a necessary one. If not for anything else, just for morale.
sure, sometimes you just need that one to get the ball rolling, you know?
Exactly.
Make sure that the momentum is back on your side, even just to a degree, because Liquid were running away with a series, and now they're set up once more with the rifles. Bit of half armor here for Surf. Surf is very alone right now, just watching this A main area for the push. This deep wall from Liquid is going to be denying so much mid-round information unless it gets broken, but it just looks like the XERXIA players just don't feel comfortable spamming it.
It actually got Soulcast's ult online as well. So they're potentially going to be able to get a res. Resing on defense IceBox, though, can be pretty difficult.
No way.
A lot of your players are going to die in push that
Scream's so
position.
deep here.
He's really
So
pushed.
deep! Tries to find a kill, quick dash away.
Supported by a slow orb. Soulcast threw another one out there so that there was no swing that could be able to punish him. He gets away. Obviously, if Scream dies there, that is an unresable position. And here comes the drone. Yeah, you just got to think from Team Liquid's perspective, there is just so much information happening over towards B right now to deal with the Sage Wall. You've traded Sage Wall for tons of info in the first minute of the round. You know that they are still trying to take B.
Right here.
And meanwhile, Brent, throughout all of this, Navarro's just been locking down A with a combination of his Killjoy utility and the Operator. They're pretty confident this is going to end B.
Well, the deep drone, it does spot the turret. The turret gets taken away.
30 seconds
But
left.
yeah, the players are starting to at least meander over towards that B side on the side of Liquid. Soulcast wants to be ready. Look at the positioning he's playing here. He wants to try and disrupt and break this wall instantly, and he's done just that. It's no longer really safe for Cruz to try and plant. He is so low right now.
And he gets spammed down. 10 seconds left here.
They have to get the plant down, Josh.
Surf's
It's
gonna
critical.
go for it.
They have to try and stick this one. They have to defend the plant. And notice spam around the corner. Scream straight through the smoke. He's got the Phantom in hand, of course. He can do a bit of running and gunning. The players from XERXIA have to try and lock this one down. It's a 2v4.
They've got 2 nanoswarms. They have 2 snake bites, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
He doesn't even have the nanoswarm set up right now. Sushi Boy's just being so heavily pressured. Liquid, they really will not let you set up like that. And again, it comes down to just the information. They knew that the B push was coming through, and they knew that that wall was a constant factor in letting them set up for that post plant. And this time, in position to try and disrupt it.
What I love about this too is it's something I was really missing from Liquid. The aggression, the denial of the plant, these effective retakes. I told you the stat earlier where they lose.
Let's go, baby!
Where they lose 50% of the defensive rounds this year just by failing retakes. That's an extraordinary amount, and it's just not present in their game at Masters Reykjavík. They look like a team that's clicking, and sometimes you just get a tournament run like this.
Absolutely. I think for Liquid as well, I mean, they were thinking a couple of weeks ago, you know, changes potentially on the horizon for them, but this tournament, if they are able to claw this one back and...
Yeah. It's not just a win to prove that they belong with the best teams in the world, it's a win to prove that the Liquid system works.
Absolutely.
That they have an IGL system that functions, that like he has faith in all of the players.
Scary's here! I can't believe this! He's looked all the way up, and look at the patience being showcased. He needs to take that kill, though. As soon as Scream gets that pick onto Surf, he realizes this is a dangerous scenario to just be really dragging out. And so, the 1-for-1. And Scream is pushing so deep around this corner. It looks like it is being held, though, by Fox, but he only has the Sheriff in hand.
Is anyone going to clear
Try and
this?
punish this one! They actually do!
That's crazy. And Scary has his ult online. Viper's Pit available for this round. They can go in here. They can turn this around. They can turn their fortunes in favor of XERXIA.
And notice this, the change happening here as well. Previously, they've been putting that wall right across where it's spammable. This time, in a much safer position.
Yeah, very different setup. And their Viper's Pit extends just far enough to do damage to the players who are retaking.
Turret takes contact of one of the players playing inside of it. Link has to respect that and back away. Soulcast just trying to work around yellow now, and timing is critical for them. The Nanoswarm pushes them off of it. They know they're not going to be on the plant. Soulcast has to make a play, pushes around the back. The weaponry, it's not fantastic, but now it's a sticking and Scary, finding all the kills. That's going to be 5. The player rezzed up Navira. Left to his devices, not much more he can truly do. And will it be 6? It will indeed.
When have you seen that? Masters Reykjavík with the 6-person ace.
What a play by Scary. And of course, I mean, the Liquid players, they tried to sync someone up there.
But that wasn't just your basic round either. This was set up. This was the beginning for Scary. Finding that pick on Yampi, who just flops from the sky into his lap, punishing the swing on Scream. He was the only player with a rifle. And then he pops the Viper's Pit.
It's unbelievable.
Gets everyone. Now, Brent, even if he hadn't done that, Fox still had the Sova ult in reserve.
The layers, the backup to it, just
Exactly. They had everything, and we are right back into this round.
We are right back in.
It's the same Sage Wall that Soulcast is dropping this time on their eco. And Liquid, they are at risk here of losing their grip on this map. The grip on this series.
Soulcast, he wants to go for it. He's right on top of it. They are so unaware of it, but luckily, XERXIA, the trade is there. Scream up in the air as well. Updraft in hand, but the knives don't really get too much done, and ultimates are still being committed.
That's a massive pick. Fox had his ultimate. That's the perfect player to remove there. And the attacker lockdown coming in now.
Lockdown for a lockdown. They want to try and push the players away, only the difference is the defenders one doesn't really stretch all the way to the back. Surf finds the correct timing, just whipping around the corner, but the players of XERXIA, they need to be careful here. Back around the corner, the rifles are more than enough as well just to spam that common angle all the way deep into Snowman. And with time ticking down, running low, XERXIA just consistently setting up these post-plant scenarios for them.
Link here, all he can do is economic damage, just hoping he can delay long enough for those XERXIA players to die to the spike, and they won't. XERXIA managed to get away, and they've tied this one up, 9-9. And Liquid, I am so surprised that they invested that ult. I'm amazed they went for it when all they had, I mean, it wasn't even like they had a huge array of weaponry or some kind of quasi-buy. That was looking weak for them. I mean, I suppose they still had Scream popping his knives and really going and trying to make that work.
Yeah, but the updraft play just didn't work for them, did it?
He just didn't find that level of success.
Liquid are going for the same kind of setup that they were doing here, where they go for this deep wall. Last round, obviously, XERXIA just completely disrespected it and pushing into it. The players aren't leaning that way, though, for XERXIA, so the wall will go up. And, in fact, they've got that Viper's Pit as well. That's going to be cutting across the A side. So this is a really nice defensive setup.
It's an early investment, though, as well, from Link here. You know, you'd often want to do that if you hear stuff, but I think, honestly, I think what it's based off is them not breaking the Sage Wall. Because XERXIA don't break the Sage Wall early, you're assuming they're leaning towards A, and you're worried about them contacting in, so pop the Viper's Pit. And now the problem for XERXIA is that as soon as they break this Sage Wall, they're giving good information to Liquid about where they are in the map. So it kind of feels like they want to just let it naturally decay, which it has done. But they have no idea what the defensive setup looks like on the back of this. There could be an operator, there could be a Killjoy holding here. Thankfully, neither are present.
Yeah, taking that control now, 40 seconds remaining. Dart at the back. Actually goes, I think, a little bit too deep there. The screen drops down, both of the smokes runs forwards. Cloudburst giving him a bit of coverage here, and he still wants to take control of this area, still wants to hold it down. The snake bite, make sure that neither player can really push too far, and he has the dash to disengage.
A rare example of pretty inefficient utility usage
20 seconds
there.
left.
And time management as well, yeah, is a massive problem.
Hunter's Fury popped off by Fox, and he needs to find at least a pick off of it. There's 12 seconds remaining. This plant, it has to be committed. And Team Liquid, they've still got the players. Still, the plant, it will eventually fall. The post plant's coming online. Sushi Boys, he managed to lurk up mid. He's found two.
And he's running into their spawn as well. He's going for the longest flank imaginable on this lurk.
Yampy, though, trying to clutch it up right now. Eventually, that's going to be taken out, and Link does not know where Sushi Boys is playing this flank all the way through.
If Link had stuck, he could have won this round, and yet Sushi Boys has just got the read.
No way! He resets the aim, and he finds the pick. 3 kills for him. The heroics in the middle of the round, just throwing Team Liquid off balance. And they've taken the lead in the series in what feels like the first time in quite some time in this map.
Yeah, that's an absurd play by Sushi Boys. I mean, what a ridiculous play. Look at this one from mid. Just finds perfect timing. And it's the timing that's the most difficult thing to get right when you're going for those lurk plays. Look at him slamming the desk there. And Dom can't believe that they lost that. Can't believe that he went for it. Surf going crazy. This is his first big event, by the way, Bren. Again, this guy's 18.
First major event.
There was a little bit of wonkiness happening there when he tried to challenge Scream and see if he could root him out of back yellow. But Liquid, they take their time out. They take a breather here. Hearing from Sliggy.
Do you know how to lip read?
I don't know how to lip read. No, we haven't quite got to the spot in esports, Brent, where they'll hold up the clipboard in front of their face.
Sure, yeah.
One day we'll get to that point.
Maybe.
But it seems like the Liquid players are just, you know, taking in the feedback right now. Scream giving a bit of his own to see if they can come up with a game plan to halt this. Brent, the big things that I'm noticing that are different here from XERXIA are that they are putting pressure on Liquid as they go for the retake. They're throwing in different stuff. They went for a completely different Sage Wall and, you know, the Viper's Pit that really messes with the way that Liquid approach the retake, and then that flank from Sushi Boys again. Something different, something that applies pressure to Liquid as they're setting up for the retake. And the retakes have been looking good for Liquid if you allow them to just set up perfectly for them. Their execution has actually been good this tournament so far.
Definitely a step up compared to their online performances, and again, it's that second opportunity, that chance of redemption for Team Liquid as well after they initially didn't make this tournament. They're here now and they want to make the most of it.
Liquid with a rough buy. Scream very pushed up. In fact, behind the Sage wall. A cool idea over towards B, but one that is going to get no impact whatsoever by the look of it.
I mean, he's going to be, if this hit goes through onto A, running around the corner with a judge in hand. Run those long sight lines.
In theory, Liquid could stack a lot of players towards A right now because Scream's getting all of the info. Scream's actually on the flank here.
Yeah, he's pushing.
Can the rest of Liquid hold them off long enough for Scream to have any value with this? They're turning around. I don't think the turret took any contact here at all. Fox is just jiggling, seeing if anyone lurked it back through. But Scream's not holding close. He's decided to give that up. Not a fan of holding the judge there on what would be a very long sideline. Look at that recon dart. All the way, checks out some of the areas towards B green as the Sage wall drops. Liquid have got their timings down well here, but XERXIA is still reading it nicely. They've pivoted away from the stack, and they're going to reset here, try and freeze the tempo, and return to cruise.
The deep smoke, it does get pinged
30
out there,
seconds left.
but the alarm bot in kitchen is going to give them all the information that this is still going to be an A hit. Not enough has been done to try and fake this push that's now coming through, and they just about deal with Scream, but not before he does the damage. Still, Surf active and available. Sushi Boy's a quick swing as well for 10 to try and support his team, and in the midst of all of it, that was a turret kill.
Of course it was.
One enemy remaining.
Spike down, just Yampy left alive. He has been doing some work for them so far in this map, but with the gun diff, it's a tall order for him.
It certainly is. And this was not the round that Liquid were hoping to win with that tack timeout.
Sure, yeah.
They're focusing towards the rifle round that comes next, trying to deny XERXIA that map point. We've been talking about grabbing opportunities when they are presented to you. Liquid would love to seal this one up 2-0. XERXIA are such a dangerous team, you can't let them into a series. And overall, this round, they dealt with it fairly nicely. There's a nice balance to XERXIA's tempo, actually. They will throw some really fast hits at you early on in the half, and then they'll slow the tempo down quite a lot.
Just enough. I mean, that's what you see from the very best teams.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That ability to alter the tempo and throw your opponents off balance. Drone. Scream does not want to get spotted here.
Has to give up his power position on top of yellow. And now this B site is looking fairly open. They've got a Nano Swamp to try and deny the plant, but even if this is just fake presence from XERXIA, Liquid aren't really going to know. And Scream will take some serious risks trying to just push himself into that area and gather information with his face.
Yeah.
So, XERXIA really have played the map rotations nicely here. They found themselves an opening.
Contacting in. I mean, they know where the turret is. They know that Navera's holding that line of sight angle right round the corner. I can't believe they're still attempting this one. Sushi Boys. Crosshair placement. A little bit too low there, but I think it's going to be rewarded with the kill.
It is a great pick. Yampy just trying to make sure the drone can see that sightline for as long as possible. He does manage to get the tag. Here's the contact push. Nivera takes down Cruz. There's another one. Scary weak. They can calm the damage that's been done.
Oh, he gets caught jumping as well. Unable to reset the aim and really take that fight still. Dart into the back. Fox is able to collect that kill onto Yampy, but he is the last player left alive. It's a 1v2 for him. Gets the one now to res online. Liquid going to be taking this one with a huge numbers advantage, and it's up to some absolute heroics from Fox to try and win this one. And they are swarming him every single possible angle, but he needs a respective 3 bullets left alive. Goes for the quick taps. Not enough.
Not quite, and Liquid, they stay in this map. The timeout once again paying dividends. But I like the idea as well from XERXIA. I think they played that contact idea pretty nicely. And Liquid were put in some sticky spots where Nivera had to find the information. Link had to hit the shot.
There's so much on the line here. Look at this replay.
These are such important kills. If Nivera goes down right there before taking somebody with him, then the other player that's anchoring that site, I think it was Link, is just in a horrendous position.
I was trying to catch what they were saying there, but
I think somebody about starting A, not exactly sure.
Trying to be nosy.
Yeah. Maybe talking to Scream. If you look at where Scream is positioned right now, he's got the knives, and he's all the way back in spawn. I think they're just trying to figure out the rotates, honestly.
It's super deep. I mean, might be trying to set up some sort of play as well.
Just a double updraft.
Yeah, the double updraft when something triggers it, and it is actually the hit coming through. He's found the mark.
Spike
AC
down
130.
B.
Yeah, Cruz just taken straight out. Plant's still going to go down without too much to dissuade it. In fact, even got that Viper's Pit as well, just to supplement it.
Vera has a lockdown that they could try and put in.
They will clears him! Right round the corner, 3 kills. That is a rapid takeover. And it's all up to Scream now with the lockdown in the mid. Fox has to remove that one, has to commit the ult. Link, he's found it, pushed back from the final burst of his ultimate. He catches it still. The post plant is being played, and it is that 2v2. One more snake bite in hand for Scary. They're holding it, different elevation for them. Link just having to spam every single angle. No more knives available! It's a whiff from Scream, and they knew exactly where Link was.
And that could be the round, Brent.
Oh my goodness.
That could be the important round, the pivotal round that stops Liquid from being able to get back into this map and seal things out 2-0. Scream did an amazing job with the opening kill, but that ended in a messy manner. But it's all down to Surf. Look at how unaware Liquid are, and he picks up the 3K. Who expects the Jet to be playing outside in front of the Viper's Pit? Maybe they should have done, but he just has such a great read. Look at him bouncing in his chair.
Yeah, man.
Youthful exuberance.
I love to see it, honestly. I love to see it.
With youth comes talent, fearlessness.
And he's up against one of the oldest Jet players in the entire tournament in the form of Scream.
He really is. It's veteran experience against just rookie talent. And hey, both have found their moments. But that was a hell of a round from Surf.
Quick little spam here. And all the pressure now for Liquid. That is a deep wall. Cruz is getting so spammed. He's tagged up as well. He needs support from the rest of his team. No one's dealing with Scream though. Quick little jiggles. A tap, a little peek. It's enough for him to secure 2. Dashes away just to be sure as well that he's safe, but eventually detains, and Fox is able to swing and actually collect it. Link, enough of a reset there with the Sheriff to be able to find that one. Spray is not good from Fox, and the run and gun in play. Liquid, plenty of players healthy, and with Scary just left alive in the 1v4. Has the spike, 40 seconds remaining, but a very difficult ask.
This is for the map. If Scary's able to pull this one off, it would be absurd. He can't go back over to A either.
Left.
That exit is being blocked off by Link. And it does look like that's what's going to happen. 20 seconds on the clock and Link's being delivered. Oh,
well,
okay, well, he's just going to save the gun in the
save,
end.
yeah.
Brent, the economy, the gun situation for Liquid in this round was awful. It's potentially the final round of the map. They had to buy up whatever they had available, but there were Sheriffs, there were, shoddy buys all over the place. Spectres, and they're still able to make that one work. Scream with a Vandal. Instantly responding in the Jet v Jet battle.
Yeah.
Surf has a round, Scream has a round. The little jiggle taps that he was doing
it was beautiful.
Superb.
I mean, it was not opening yourself up too much. Hunter's Fury comes in from the back as well to support him, and he's just able to patiently play for it.
The players are tagged up, he's winning isolated 1v1s. Yeah, I mean, he does get detained, maybe, going for slightly too much, but
sure.
At the end of the day, the damage has already been done. And now the shoe is firmly on the other foot when it comes to the economy. Surf's got a Spectre, Cruz has a Frenzy, and we're heading into the final round of regulation.
Liquid would love to bring it into overtime. Money situation obviously suiting them here. The deep dart, straight down at Yampy, wants to try and punish it. That's a shock dart. Counter spam in play. Both players incredibly low. Scary has to fall back just for the heal.
Something that both players have an opportunity to get from their respective stages. And XERXIA take a deep breath as they prepare. This Sage Wall has been getting a lot of good information. I quite like it from Soulcast. It feels like you should be able to break it just early on in the round, but it's really putting a difficult XERXIA in a difficult situation. Look how deep, though, that Fox has got right now.
Standing ahead.
Nice. Managed to contact far in. This drone?
I feel like this recon dart and stomping in is definitely going to pull attention. There's 3 Liquid players around here.
He's cleared a bit of it as well.
They might be starting to smell a rat, though.
Yeah, I think they're kind of clocking on to these big plays that keep happening now. All the players grouped up, and Scream will see what he can do. Dash in hand! Whoa! The counter spam, Soulcast taken care of, and this could be it. 2 massive picks for them. XERXIA would love to try and reclaim that weaponry, but I think the bodies are a little bit too deep for them. In fact, Surf managed to get the knives online, so they swapped the gun over, I think, into Cruz's hands. Sushi Boys tries to play close. He's removed. taken out of the fight. Eliminated. Pressure is mounting. They have to perform right here, right now. A golden opportunity to bring it to that map 3 for XERXIA. The swing comes through, the snake bite is impeccable. It sets him up wonderfully, and with that, the 13th round.